All right, so there we go. We are live with I think this is session 13 since we relaunched Fallout. I really should start numbering things more accurately, but it is what it is. So last time we played, which was about a month ago, holidays and all of that sort of stuff. You guys successfully won Salvage Bowl. You brought back basically the two key items that guaranteed you a bunch of points, so you didn't have to turn in a lot of the other salvage that you had found in order to secure the victory. And as a result, the folks there in Orville Junction gave you a prize package containing a ballistic weave lab coat, some ballistic weave or ballistic fiber that can be added to clothing or an outfit, a modified 10mm pistol, a case of 10mm ammo, since that pistol will burn through ammo quickly, and a case of Blemco mac and cheese. Not too shabby a prize, really. On top of that, you guys successfully negotiated with some super mutants and have been bequeathed an abandoned train station that you can definitely build up into a settlement if you so choose. Currently, it has one resident that's not you guys, and that is Bob, the ex-legionnaire, who you saved after he had eaten something that didn't agree with him and was in a very bad way. He was ever so grateful and is basically more than willing to be your lackey. Bob is definitely a follower type. He used to be a raider, and then when that got to be too much for him, he joined the Legionnaires, and then when they got too much for him, now he's joined you guys. He's definitely a follower type personality. But you guys currently don't have anything super pressing. No time constraints on anything. No, you've basically got time to figure out what it is you would like to do next. Just so you guys are aware, the train station, for settlement purposes, it has 2 dormitories, so there are beds for people, and it has power. It does not have its own food supply. It does not have its own water supply. It does not have any defenses. All things that you will need to build if you expect people other than Bob to reside here. Basically, if the happiness level is lower than the population, or higher than the population, no, lower than the population, people will leave. And it currently has a happiness level of -2.
So we need to make this place happier.
You need to make this right now. You're basically got a bunch of bunks that used to belong to super mutants. It is not a happy settlement. Bob is here because he's just happy to be anywhere.
Didn't we clean it up?
Do they have like meat bags everywhere and stuff?
Well, we cleaned it up, but we have no amenities that make it worth being there.
Exactly. It's clean. There's not meat bags hanging everywhere. There's not bodies piled everywhere. It's cleaned up. It's just there's no reason for anybody to come and live here.
Like there's no safety. Well, there's no like defenses. There's no food source.
Yeah, there's no stores. There's no traders. It's a fixer-upper.
Before we go like too far, I've been short a perk for a while because I haven't seen one that like interested me or that I needed. But now I'm looking in the settler book. Can I take Ammo Smith? I've got the intelligence.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Please do. Okay, done.
Please. Please, please. I have the stupid rare ammo.
You're desperate.
need.
I can craft up to rarity 1 ammo.
Yeah, he'll need a
Damn
couple
it.
ranks before he can make your ammo. I think the next one he can do up to 3 though.
1 sec. I'm just gonna copy paste it.
There, I just added it to your sheet.
Oh, well then if you just did that, then that's even easier.
Yep.
Here I am doing it all manually and stuff.
So yes, at rank 2, you can craft ammunition up to rarity 3. Additionally, at rank 2, you can dismantle ammo to get materials.
That's good.
So for now, you can keep them in like 10mm ammo because that's rarity 1.
Yay. And 308.
And 308. And pipe gun if anybody still has one of those. But you guys have some time to decide what it is you'd like to do.
Do we need to stock up on ammo?
Wow. I am a little light on 308.
Okay.
But are we gonna our main thing is, are we actually turning this into a settlement, or are we gonna take apart the bench and bring it with us?
I would
Now
like
that there's
to check
rules
out
for
that
assembling them.
boring. Well, we've got several things we can do here, folks. I've got some interest in that boring place, the Dunwich Borers Company.
Hmm.
And of course, there's always going and killing that albino Deathclaw. That would build a really good reputation with the folk in the area. And we can have multiple settlements.
Yeah.
So why don't we spend a little bit of time here before we move on? Like how our last party stayed in the last town until all the quests were done before moving on?
I don't know what you're talking about. Last party?
There's sorry, your previous party member and you. And weapons.
Well, if we stay here for at least a bit, I will supply us in a bunch of ammo. If we make this a settlement, we're like friendly with the super mutants now, yeah?
Yeah, they basically moved on. You sent them to the irradiated village of what was it called? Bleaksville.
How far away is that?
It's a couple of days.
Well, if we set a settlement here, establishing trade with super mutants could be cool. I don't fully remember if they were the amicable lot, but if they are, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, they seem to get along fine with us.
I mean, we're friends with mole rats. What's a super mutant to that?
Psychic mole rats.
Oh,
They
no.
were in my head, man.
If
More
you,
rats in my head.
if anything happens to him, I reserve the right for an autopsy.
If anything happens to me, he's not allowed to touch me.
It's okay,
It's a
I'm the
shame.
doctor here.
Yeah, but I just want to see what's in his brain. Mole rats are talking in there.
Yeah. I think that's less about his brain and more about theirs. Bleakford is the name of the town.
Oh, there we go.
I knew I had it in my notes someplace.
Yep. Bleakford is the very definition of a one Brahmin town.
So, I mean, I'm not against having a place that's safe and has a roof that doesn't drip. And I like people. So if we want to make this place safe, I'm good with that. But there is a Deathclaw not too far from here.
Rebecca for mayor.
What?
Rebecca for mayor.
For mayor. Sorry, my brain was stuck on the albino Deathclaw.
It's okay. I think all of us.
It kind of took over there for a second.
Yeah, we definitely need to clean the place up a bit more. There's some problems. We could make those mole rats our friends even more so.
I mean, they
and-
can take away some of the junk maybe that they want that we don't.
Exactly.
Having an early warning system in case the albino comes this way would be nice too. And sorry, did you say we had electricity or no, Chris?
You do have power.
Oh, excellent. The electricity is probably going to be a big draw once, we get it habitable. People like being able to see.
Hey, Chris, you've got 2 different songs playing right now.
That's weird. I don't have, anyways, I gotta figure out what's going on with my sound here. I'm not hearing any music on my end.
There we go. Now it's down to just 1.
That's so weird. It was the same with our Forbidden Lands game. I couldn't hear music. Everybody else was like, I hear music. I'm like, I don't know why. So I can't hear the music. I can't tell how loud it is. Don't know.
Well, that's why we also have volume bars for most of us.
Yep.
I wonder if it's my volume mixer. Nope. Huh. Weird technology. All right. So there is an albino Deathclaw that it seems to be nested in the old casino, along with its little babies. You also know that the Brotherhood of Steel is in the area. They were last searching for their missing payday.
Such a shame.
Yeah, it's a real pity. That's just too bad.
I still can't believe we talked so much that guy just gave up and walked away from us.
I can
Aw.
believe it. I've been with this part group for a bit.
It was pretty savage.
I mean, it could have gone worse.
There's a reason why I didn't tell people to stop bugging that one. It was the other one.
Uh-huh. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, if Smiths is going to be taking some time making some ammo, we can see what else we can do around here to make the place nicer while he's working.
Some water would be a good start.
Yeah,
Where there's water, there's a way.
something like that.
Okay. I can make some ammo rather. And we can also try to source some like fresh water.
Well, I'm sure with the rest of us, we can probably figure out water sourcing while you're working, because it'll take you a bit to make some ammo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who has repair 2 or higher?
I might.
Mine is only 1.
My repair is 4.
Ooh.
Mine's 2.
What's a repair skill?
Yeah.
Boise, you're fairly confident that you could probably, if you've got the materials, you could probably build at least like a rudimentary water pump. Take you a couple of days to kind of knock together.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we've got a good amount of materials now that we've got our good old Brahmin friend with us again.
That does change everything. So did we just walk back from the chaotic ruined city that these Hunger Games are being played in? Take the grand prize and then walk back into the chaotic city as if nothing?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Man, we're a bunch of badasses.
It's the wanderer lifestyle.
Just looking up ammo smith so I can see how long it takes.
I figured it's like most crafting where it technically takes an hour.
Yep. The complexity is the rarity of the ammo, so it's only complexity 1.
So do I need to roll?
Checking that now.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to need basically 2 common materials per bullet.
Okay.
And it would be intelligence and repair.
Intelligence and repair. Okay. How many common materials do we have?
Just realized I don't have my drive open.
I gotta go get my wife from work, so
We have 135 common. And 80 unsorted junk because, we don't have any with scrapper at the moment.
I guess that's maybe the next thing I need to take.
If we're planning on staying somewhere, yeah, it'd be a good idea.
we also need to convince the vendors in the city to carry more.
Do we need this
Stock.
common scrap for like anything else?
Probably some of it for the pump.
Yeah, you're going to need 5 common and 1 uncommon for the pump.
Okay, that's doable. I'll just take that off.
Yeah, take the 5. What do I have left?
130.
Can I use 120 of it to make 60 bullets?
Sure can.
And I need to make what? Repair rolls?
Yeah, you can make 38 10mm 308 flare or shotgun shells.
And we need 308s?
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
How do I do one roll like 38 times or 60 times?
We're not going to do a roll for each bullet.
Okay.
What we'll say, because you're basically, it does take you considerable time to make each bullet because you're not that skilled at it yet.
Yeah.
So we'll say over the course of the 2 days it takes Boise to get the pump up and running. You'll be able to make 10, 20. We'll say you'll be able to make 20 rounds, but we'll do it in basically batches of 10. So you can make 2 rolls. Basically, it takes you the better part of a day to make 10 bullets. Because it is an hour per roll.
So it'll take me, you said, sorry, a day?
It'll take you 2 days to make 20.
Oh, okay. 2 days to make 20? That's fine. So then 3 days, or 2 days to make 20. So 4 days to make 40. 6 days to make 60? Almost a week?
Yeah.
Because I'm making 60, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to spend the week just cranking out bullets every day. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if we have a week of time, and it takes 2 days for him to build the pump, could I have spent the week in town spending a few caps on drinking and learning more about the people and other subquests in the area?
You certainly can.
Awesome. Sorry to bounce in and do this. I have to drive off to get the wife in a minute. I'll still be on Discord. I just won't be at the computer.
Yep, no worries. All right.
For the 5 days, what did you want me to roll for that?
Let's call that a be like charisma and speech. It'll be like gather information in D&D. Okay. So yeah, you overhear lots of gossip. There's people that there like already people are talking about like the next salvage bowl. When's the next one going to be? What are the special items going to be? People are already talking about the next one. The next one's probably still months off, but it's the sort of thing that people in this town live for. It's like if you've got a college football team or something similar. Even in the off season, you're like, oh, I wonder who's getting traded, and people are like, oh, I wonder, they catch your attention. They ask you if you're going to be coming back for the next one. What did you think since it was your first one? First time winning, getting the 2 prize items. That's a huge feather in your cap. Everybody's going to be, that sets a really high bar for everybody for the next one. Quite a few people are like, if you do take part in the next one, watch your back. Some of the folks don't like multiple winners. That sort of general chatter. But you do pick up that there is a small hospital inside the ruins, kind of an independent hospital called Mount Sin. That is looking to pay caps for people to do some work for them, and a pretty sizable purse of caps as well. They're offering like 250 caps. But the details of the particular work are being kept very quiet.
What's the general feel about the hospital? Like, the town folk get along with them? Are people creeped out by them?
No, the townsfolk get along quite well with them. There's a significant amount of trade back and forth. The hospital, basically, they do charge for their services, but they kind of like charge those who can afford it, and people who can't afford it pay less or work it off or whatever. Like they're not turning anybody away because they don't have the caps to pay. So they seem to be, the general consensus from the townsfolk as you kind of like wander from place to place is that the hospital are good people. You know, they don't ask questions about where you got that bite or where you got that bullet wound or, you know, what sort of work you do. They treat, like, whether it's a scavenger or a raider or like a survivor out in the wasteland, anybody who goes to the hospital gets treated.
They're the guys I want to go talk to next. Awesome. That is all 5 days, which is great. I'll spend out of my personal caps because I didn't invite anybody else along. Well, sure. Heck, if anybody wants to come drink, a couple of drinks are on me.
Bullet Factory has no brakes.
Sure.
Put it
I've
in,
got no
put it in the
plans.
pump in just the right place.
Kerchunk. Kerchunk.
Right?
Kerchunk.
Let's see my gear data. Nope, apparel.
Yeah.
What is my money? I have like
No mass. Move the train
300
engine over there.
Should be under gear.
Caps. 292. I'll spend 20 caps.
Yeah. Yeah, assuming you're just buying beer and nothing super fancy.
No, nothing fancy. It's just conversative alcohol. So I'm not going to go and get shit-faced. Although, you know, if people buy me drinks through our conversation, I won't turn them down.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's some give and take. I mean, the folks here kind of like when you go into town, there's a, you know, kind of like, oh, it's the champions, you know. They you know, people buy around and you just happen to be there at that time, sort of thing.
Yeah, just one of those lucky things. That works for me. And that's enough information to give us another quest in the area. In fact, that's closer. Can they mark my map for me?
They will put a mark on your map.
Fuck yeah! Now I got a mark on my map. The map of Oroville.
Rebecca, are you looking for anything in particular while you're out socializing with Arkham?
Not particularly. Just kind of getting a read on the people. Since I do have a decent charisma. Yeah, I've got like a charisma of 7.
Heck yeah, you got a decent charisma.
Which is, you know, pretty much twice what I normally have for charisma when I'm playing in the video game.
Yeah, but aren't ghouls also capped at like 8?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they are. I think they're capped at 10, but there's generally a penalty if people don't like ghouls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's basically trying to get like a read on how people around here react to ghouls. She will absolutely be paying lots of attention in that conversation about the hospital, though. That's her next goal.
Perfect. Why don't you give me a perception and charisma?
Ooh.
All right, switching devices.
I will have my special clothes on.
Being all fancy and shit.
Being all fancy and shit. I can't roll perception and charisma though, because they're both skills.
Oh, sorry. Perception and speech. My bad.
Perception and charisma are both the same. Okay. Well then, I can't. My fancy clothes aren't going to help me at all. 2 successes though.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as you're getting a general read of the people, like nobody gives you the cold shoulder or anything of that nature. They're not as chatty with you as they are with Arkham. But it's not like they dislike ghouls. It's more just the fact that you look like your flesh is rotting and you're in a place that serves food and beverage.
Yeah, it's understandable.
You're a ghoul, but can you not?
Yeah, like when you encounter people on the street, they're friendly and stuff. It's just when you're inside the eating establishments,
Yeah.
People kind of hunch over their bowls a little bit, so like none of your skin falls into it.
Oh, I just ordered the space soup.
I will courteously take a couple of steps back away from folks.
But that does give you an action point if you wish to obtain more information.
The location of the hospital.
Actually, that's been provided to Arkham. It's marked on his map.
Excellent. And nobody knows what the job is.
Nope, but we did have some great conversations about how good a guys these people at the hospital are. You might get along with them real well, Doc.
I mean,
Just
I can
don't
get
quit the
along
group
with
on account of it.
Don't what?
Don't quit the group on account of it.
I'm not. I kind of like roaming. Just, it's nice to have a place to, call home every now and then.
And just for rules clarity, if you spend to obtain information, you can ask any specific question. So even though like Arkham didn't find out any information about the nature of the job, that is exactly what obtain information is for.
Oh. Well, I will definitely want to find out what the nature of that job is then.
So yeah, as you're kind of asking around, it seems like they have quite a bit of trouble with raiders hitting when they're like bringing chems in, especially. They have a huge issue with raiders hitting their supply lines. And the rumors is that they are looking at alternative ways to get the chems in using the sewer system, and they're probably hiring to sweep the sewers to make sure that they can have like a clean supply line.
Death claws, ghouls, and other nasties.
Yeah.
All right. Rebecca will store that little bit of information away.
All right. And Smiths and Boise at the old homestead with the assistance of Bob. And Bob is happy to help both of you. He is completely incompetent at actually doing anything of a mechanical nature. He's happy to learn, and he's realizes that he's basically relegated to like hold the flashlight.
Yeah. The best assistant position.
But for anything that needs to be moved, he is a fairly hardy individual now that he's recovered from his sickness. So he'll lug things, and he'll make comments about like how much better this is than the time that he was with the Raiders and he had all the shit jobs there, and the time that he was with the Legionnaires and he had all the shit jobs there. It's like, at least these are shit jobs that feel like we're accomplishing something,
Well, that is the goal, to either make this place a better place overall and or gear us up so we can go in and get more stuff for this place.
Absolutely. I appreciate the fact that you guys didn't kill me in the street, and whatever you need of me. I mean, I'm willing to learn.
I'll just keep lending a hand, and we should be able to help you pick up some stuff to have you help out more over time.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And he like whistles a jaunty tune and goes about his work. Smiths, you may as well.
I hate morning people.
Incidentally, for the the structure builds, there's no roll necessary for that.
It's just time and materials.
Just time and materials. But there is rolls necessary for ammo smithing.
You were gonna so sorry.
So yes, you need to make 6 rolls for ammo smithing. I will basically. It's going to take you 6 days, but if you generate action points, you can spend action points to generate more ammo and basically cut down your time.
Okay. So quick. Oh no, I don't remember. Uh, Another repair check.
Yep. All right. So the first day you do manage to crank out 10 rounds,
Nice.
and you can roll for the second day. Ooh, second day goes really well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
so if you want, you can spend 2 action points to basically pump out 20 rounds on that day.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So yeah, so after 2 days, you've got 30 rounds of 308 ammo.
Nice. Halfway there.
Day 3, again, you can spend 2 action points if you like.
Yeah, sure.
So now you're up to 50 rounds. And day 4.
Oh,
Oh, you get the one that you need. So it only takes you 4 days to crank out the ammo. Nothing blows up in your hand,
that's always
Including your
good.
hand.
including your hand. So that does give Boise like 2 extra days if there's anything else you wanted to do.
I'll show up partway through with like an armful of bullets. These are all for you.
Boise will efficiently slide them into a specific section of his pack.
So is there anything else that Boise wanted to do for 2 days?
So we've got the ammo and we've got the pump done.
You've got the pump done in 2 days,
Yeah, and the ammo's done now.
and the ammo's done in 4 days.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 or 3 days after the pump is installed to do whatever it is you'd like to do.
Was there anything else we could install in that time that we might need?
Uh, seeing what they might. You've already got an armor workbench. You can build a cooking station.
Oh yeah, definitely put that in then.
You can't make
That
like
was
the
really-
full on one, but you can make like the basic one.
Yeah.
We should get a cooking station.
Yeah, but even the basic one that we burn a common to light it every so often is still a good thing to have.
Yeah, so you basically get a fire pit going. So you do need 1 common per day, basically, to cook with it. But you do have something. And by that time, everybody has gathered their information, built some ammo. You have a water pump now, which will actually generate fresh water because it puts out more water than you have settlers.
Yay. Water.
And you guys can reconvene. Do make sure that you cross off, though. You don't have to cross off any water because you have the pump, but make sure you cross off 5 food for everybody. And after 4 or 5 days, everybody is gathered together once again.
How's it going?
Now we get a pump, basic
Nice.
cook fire that we can operate, and
Even
I
better.
get a bunch more ammo.
Oh, that's probably going to be handy.
I made so many.
How's your back?
Doc and I. Sorry.
I was just thinking, hunched over that bench.
Oh,
I
it's
was wondering
fine.
how your back is.
Hey, okay. Plus, it only
So
took
yes,
me like
Ark,
4 days.
that's a lot of time spent over a bench, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your back's got to be pretty raw by now.
What did you guys learn?
Sorry.
We got to meet a bunch of people, which is good because the more comfortable they are with us, the less chance that they'll take offense to us having a little community inside their community.
Well, I mean, we're nearby, but it's still the same difference.
Yeah. I mean, it never hurts to get to know who your neighbors are. Apparently, there's a hospital in town, so I'm going to pay them a visit. They,
In
got some work.
town or in the ruins?
In the ruin. It is in the ruins, right, Chris?
Yes, it is.
In the ruins. But they're looking for somebody's to do a job for them. So I'm
Okay.
curious exactly what the nature of the job is. But apparently there's been some concerns that raiders are taking out their chem deliveries. And rumor is that they might be looking for someone to kind of clear a different path. But I'm wondering if they have access to a chem bench. And just nobody's skilled enough to use it. Or if they just don't have a bench.
That's
But
fair.
I mean, if they've got a place to make chems, that's a problem easily solved if they can get supplies. I mean, raiders probably aren't going to be quite so keen on supplies that they have to turn into chems. It's a lot of concentrating and thought.
It depends on
Be
the
more
chem
likely
too.
to go. Yeah. They'll be more likely to go after ready-made chems, though. At least from my experience. They're not exactly DIY types. At least in that regard. And when they are, it tends to, go badly unless they've got some kind of training.
I mean, we could do like we do with almost every other raider. Convince them their life choices are wrong. Solve the problem the good old lead-fashioned way.
Now we can do recon and force, and if Rebecca's plans bear out over there, then well, we won't need to fire as many bullets, obviously.
I definitely prefer a peaceful solution.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to them and see what's up.
Oh, certainly. They're just saying we're not going to let you go alone because, I mean, they have raiders in the area, even if not right there.
Yeah, and, there is still a albino Deathclaw.
Oh, did you guys ask the town if they want us to, like, take care of that, or if they want to leave it for the next junkyard bowl?
They indicated very concisely that should we return, we should watch our backs about the Blood Bowl. I assume they're probably going to keep it as a prize if we don't end up running into it and killing it off already.
Because, I mean, there might be a recurring job for them in that by just, keeping the albinos kids from turning it into a giant nest. That's part of what I was thinking. Like, even if we leave the trophy hunt for them because they want to leave it, we don't really want to become a giant infestation. Because
that sounds
if it becomes too big of an infestation, the Brotherhood will just pick up and leave rather than fight it. They'll find their gear elsewhere. Since they tend to be more isolationist than benevolent.
More isolationist than useful.
I tried to give it a nicer word.
I heard Deathclaw egg omelets were quite the delicacy. Perhaps we could also maybe export these for some profit, on top of getting rid of them for profit.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say we couldn't potentially double dip. But I just wanted to make sure we knew exactly how much dipping we're willing to pay for, basically.
I'll patch you up, but I would rather not go traipsing in. I'm pretty sure we're all aware of just how not useful I am with a gun.
Oh, I'm not expecting like a frontal assault situation if we're not gonna like cut and burn the whole place down. I'm pretty sure it'll just be more a matter of, all right, we'll find a good place to set up a blind, basically, and I'll go up there every so often and pick off the ones that come out.
I mean, that's probably a good idea anyway. You just have to make sure that you've got some food and water and lots of ammo in case you get pinned up there.
Oh, exactly.
Because once you're up there, I mean, if you're surrounded, there's not going to be a whole lot that I'm going to be able to do about it.
Just remember, we learned the other day, things can climb. We're not the only things that can climb.
Oh, yeah. I'm not talking about like making it a one-way in situation. Or, well, if it is a one-way in situation, it'll be connected to other buildings, for example. So I can run from rooftop to rooftop and then find a place out. I'm just picturing a world where that might be an ongoing job while other stuff gets taken care of.
Well, we could set up some zip lines and stuff around.
But that's an after we see what they want to do about that situation.
Well, I meant just to get around in general.
Yeah, but again, that comes down to what wants to get done, because we don't want to set up the whole area that they're going to have their tournament in every couple months, because that's going to go shit. That can potentially burn a lot of good credit with the locals,
and through a lot of our supplies that could be used for other things.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate the water pump, though. That's a good job.
Yeah, it was. We did some good work. But if you want to go find out what's up with the hospital, I mean, we can do that and then come back and ask about the what the city wants to do with the Death Claw permanency.
Yeah, I mean, once there's some backup free to go with me, just in case.
No, we're all done in camp for now, unless we want to start building more stuff.
No, I think I can go risk my life death claw hunting. I think my schedule allows for that right now.
You've got a much more open schedule than I do. I would not have time available, regardless of what I had planned.
You're all booked
Sorry,
that night,
I'm
but we
washing
haven't
my
said
hair
what night
that
it
day.
is.
Yep, exactly. I have a pressing appointment with a book.
And while you guys are talking, do you guys have your radio on?
Oh yeah, probably in the background.
Yeah.
So as the the music is playing that apparently I can't hear on Foundry, there's like static, like another signal kind of overriding the radio broadcast that you're listening to, and you just catch like snippets of a voice, and everybody can give me, let's call it perception and survival. This is just determine how much of the passage you managed to make it.
Sorry, which two?
Perception and survival.
Ew.
Click. Can you roll for me?
Yep.
Not
One success.
All right. So the majority of you, Boise, you're having a kind of a hard time focusing, and then kind of like snap out of it. But for a brief moment there, the voice, it almost felt like it was drawing you closer to the radio. Like I want to hear this. Like there was just something about the tone and the intonation that made you want to hear more. The rest of you you catch words, the Great Division, Divine Judgment, Sacred Path. Rebecca, you actually managed to, kind of kind of like thinking about it, kind of piecing the words together. You pick up, we recognize the sacred nature of the Great Division, where an atom separates the impure from the pure. In times of conflict and strife, we shall stand united in our devotion, prepared to face the cleansing embrace of Adam's divine judgment.
It is the children of the atom.
It totally is.
Those who oppose the sacred path will be cast aside, and we shall remain steadfast in our commitment to our radiant future.
Oh, shit.
And then the staticky kind of fades out again, and then your music starts picking up again.
That'd be an awesome trait to have on a character.
Child of Adam?
Well, just the fact that they're immune to radiation without being ghouls.
I mean,
I'd be a cultist for that.
kinda.
Like this is OC, so that's why I said on a character.
The Winter of Adam adventure actually includes Child of Adam as a new origin.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, no one says you still have to be drinking the Kool-Aid. The glow in the dark lime Kool-Aid.
Is there any other flavor? Or color.
Well, glow in the dark orange Kool-Aid.
I'm
And purple drink.
pretty sure that's called Tang.
But yes, it seems like the broadcast kind of overrode the signal. And Boise, when the music starts playing again, you kind of snap out of the little funk that you were in, little fugue state.
Oh, what was that about? Sorry, I didn't seem to pick up anything.
So there's this group called the Children of Atom. Not Atom like the person, but Atom like the thing in a nuclear explosion. Or, just the stuff that make anyway. Lots of science details.
Kaboom.
Yeah. They have this weird worshipful thing going on about splitting the atom and a lot of bad faith put over science that they don't actually understand. They kind of built a religion. It sounds... The first time I encountered them, I thought it sounded like somebody had tried building a religion around one of the little warning booklets that we used to get about nuclear war. And I don't know how it got started, but anyway, they've got this bizarre religion going on about radiation. And that's essentially who was broadcasting.
Oh, that's funky.
It is. They're very odd. What's weirder is they're not ghouls.
That's yeah.
Usually. I mean, you find one every now and then, but we're, a lot of us are, well, a little old to be falling for that kind of thing.
Old enough to not be quite as inclined into worshipping bomb.
A lot of us had our religion knocked out of us. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. And a lot of us are old enough to, remember actual science.
Well,
When it
I
was
guess
taught
when you
in
see the
university.
hand of God.
Yeah, kinda. And time gives wisdom sometimes. Sometimes it just makes people more inclined to a particular stupidity. It's something to be wary of. Don't let them suck you in. They are devout. And if you disagree with them, they have no problem trying to change your mind by force. Or just, taking out your mind, one or the other. So be on the lookout. If you see people with they tend to wear, I can't really call them dresses. They're like really long shirts. Tunics. That's what they were called. They might have sort of symbols from science that you might recognize on them. Especially like a little diagram of an atom. They might be carrying things that glow because they see that kind of thing as sacred. But if you do, don't hang around them. Just come and let me know where you saw them. And we'll figure out how many of them there are. But desperate times, people tend to get drawn into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Same way they do into raider gangs and the Brotherhood and, folks trying to cling on to whatever rope they can grab.
Yeah, based on what you're saying, it did kind of sound to me as if, it's the kind of thing that the Brotherhood might broadcast if they were the type to recruit. but not that specific, but that type of thing.
No, when the Brotherhood are recruiting, it tends to be a little different.
No,
But
like,
that was- I haven't heard
we're
the
the only
Brotherhood.
true path for the technology left behind, yada yada.
Kinda. I mean, the Brotherhood now isn't quite the way they started. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, they tend to.
I'm sure that story has at least 3 dogs in it.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, the Brotherhood's religious bent is more of an organizational thing
Yeah.
as opposed to the Children of Adam, which is an actual religion worshipping devotion
Yeah.
to something you can't actually see.
So that's why the Brotherhood doesn't broadcast, because their propaganda is not religious.
It's different.
It's organizational. Anyway, we were talking about making a trip to that hospital of yours.
Yep, Mount Sin, which is kind of a weird name, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Like anything else in the waste, it might be part of an old sign.
How far away is the
That
hospital?
would make more sense.
From where you guys are, picking through the ruins of the city, maybe a couple hours.
How rough is the terrain?
It's basically typical city rubble.
Something could be a block away, but you have to travel 6 blocks to get there.
Before
Just 'cause
we
you can't
go
climb
to
and get
the
under.
hospital, can we? Well, I guess can I rather use my repair skill to Do we have a cart for Janice, or do we just have a?
The standard freezers and lock boxes attached to it.
Can I try to make a cart so that we can take more stuff from the hospital?
We're not taking from them.
Oh,
I don't
they were
think.
I forgot there were people there.
They're good people.
I mean,
Doctors.
just doesn't mean you can't take stuff from it.
Don't encourage them.
This isn't intended to be a
though.
raid. I mean, we might be running some stuff, but this ain't a raid.
I mean, I'm not opposed to trying to hook something up that Janice can just haul behind her. I'm not sure how strong she is. I mean, their barometer might be strong, but I've never really tested her limits.
No, I thought we were going there to get a bunch of stuff.
I mean, we'll see what they. I don't plan to raid them. From all accounts, they're actually doing a good job. They
If
don't
we're talking
turn
about the hospital,
away. Yeah.
we're not raiding them. From my understanding, they're the good guys out in the area.
If you can't pay the caps that it'll cost, you can work it off. Which,
Yep.
as long as you know that going in, and it's not. I've seen some weird setups like that, but this one actually sounds legit. As opposed to, you get close to working it off, and then someone kicks your knee out. Then you have to work there longer, and it just becomes a weird, bad, toxic situation. But yeah, we can wait until tomorrow to check them out. I mean, you've been doing literal back-breaking labor, getting all that tiny, fine bullet stuff done.
Yeah, why don't we take a night and sit here at camp with Bob and have a drink.
Hmm.
Celebrate our success.
We've got
Celebrate.
fresh water to drink now. Or I guess you
Yeah.
guys have fresh water to drink. I'm not going to bother. I mean, there's no
Oh,
sense
is that a
wasting
cooking
water. I'm
station?
not going to notice the difference.
Yeah, it's a cooking station. You'll notice the difference. It won't have that sparkly tang.
It won't be spicy. A funky afterburn.
That's funny. In truth. Anyways, water, cooking station, beds, we got power. The only other thing this place needs is some defense and a couple of radios
Some
that
people.
aren't moving. Yeah, let's get some. Well, the longer we stay here, the more likely we are to recruit people as they pass through. Now,
Yep.
because we are within the Blood Bowl ruins, we will eventually, within a couple of months' time, start having them run into us if we're not participating.
Well, that's another reason for us to figure out what they might want done in the area so that we can go, this section here's got nothing for you, but we'll take care of something else for you and maybe get some pay for it too.
I mean, if people show up here looking for some medical treatment because they're
Yeah,
taking
but-
part in the
but I
bowl
mean,
and
like,
things have gone
They're not going
sideways.
to come to us and salvage it.
No.
No, guys.
If you need some
If we're
emergency,
in the area, we're targets.
That's why I said
We
we
got-
can talk to the city about stuff they need done. And if that's where the Deathclaw stuff comes in, because this section gets taken off the map.
you do not raid this area, but you can go there if you need medical assistance.
I mean, push comes to shove, we make it that way because we're not partaking again. Or unless you want to invite people here, is that what you're getting at? You want them to come raid
Well,
us
I
so we
mean-
kill them?
No, I don't.
that would be a bad way to do things.
Yeah,
No.
we're talking about taking us
I
off
want-
the salvage bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to warn you that even if we're not on the menu, because we were the dual champion of the last one, we have an active target on our back.
If we re-enter, and if not, and we are just around our place, then they enter at their own fucking risk.
So yeah,
Attitude.
I'm just saying,
I know.
Don't borrow trouble. That's all you're doing. Just like when you were talking to the head mutant.
I know.
I was. No, I wasn't looking for trouble. I was telling you we already have trouble.
No,
Even if
you're
we
telling
tell
us
them
that
this
there
area
might
is-
be trouble, and if we can talk to the people involved in the situation, we can have this not being on the official map.
Yeah, and you guys are outside the city limits. That's where the super mutants were. So kind of like a tete-a-tete agreement with the people who run the salvage bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Perfect. All right, I got you.
I am absolutely down with that.
yeah, that's what Boyce
I'm
is
just
getting at.
saying,
It's like
like-
we can have an arrangement like this is not
That
part of the
doesn't stop
salvage bowl.
hunters. Yeah, but
No.
that doesn't stop the people that were there in our last time we were in the bowl from disliking us and wanting to paint the town with our insides.
And that doesn't stop me from shooting them dead, which is Boise's other point. Like, if they come
Yeah,
looking
that's-
for
that's-
trouble, we'll deal with it. But if they're not, don't borrow trouble by making it sound like everyone's going to want to.
Gotcha. I understand what you mean.
Thanks for the heads up, but that doesn't mean that everyone's gunning for us.
I never said that everyone was gunning for us.
That was your
Perhaps-
implication when we said if we take our area out of the salvage bowl and we don't partake, you said they'll still come here to kill us. That is what you were implying. And if that's not what you meant, that's fine. But that's what was being taken away from what you were saying.
I was saying that the participants still want us dead, even if, well, at least some of them. That was the warning
Chris.
I walked away from in the situation there.
Chris,
when
can
we
I
were
ask for
gathering.
clarification?
Yep.
Because it sounded to me the information you were giving was if we participate again, other people might gun for us, as opposed to if we don't.
Right. People don't like multiple winners.
So if we don't go to win again, we don't have that issue. Because I think that the issue that we're bouncing heads on here is Mike took away, they're going to gun for us regardless.
Yeah. No, it's more a matter of, nobody likes Tom Brady because he's won so many Super Bowls. And, I mean, he's a shitty person too, but yeah, basically, if the same team keeps winning, the other teams start to get aggressive about winning. So
Okay.
if you don't enter, the other teams don't care. You won yours, good for you, excellent. Let us have ours.
If somebody gets a chip on their shoulder, we'll worry about it then. But I'm
Okay.
fine with not participating in the bowl again.
I'm not even sure we'll be in the area at the next bowl unless we plan for it.
That too.
But it's good to know that we might have people gunning for us if we get involved again.
And it's always good to talk to the organizers and say, hey, this is just a little community. There's nothing there that's actually part of the bowl.
Aside from my understanding is you guys are just hanging out in your place, enjoying your fresh water, and heading to the hospital in the morning.
Yeah, Rebecca's going to keep a kind of an ear out to the radio, though, to see if anything else comes through. Now that she knows the children of Adam are within broadcast range.
Nothing else comes over the radio this evening. But when you get up in the morning at about the same time of the day, there is another broadcast.
Damn it.
Same kind of thing.
In our pursuit of Adam's divine will, we shall strive to spread the teachings and blessings of our faith to those who remain in the darkness of ignorance. We will enlighten others about the transformative power of Adam's radiance, inviting them to join our sacred community and embrace the path of irradiated ascension.
Oh, that does not sound like a passive quest.
That's not going to be good. Damn it.
But yeah, it did, like, the radio signal overrode the music you're listening to at about the same time of the day as it did the previous day.
They've got their hands on broadcast equipment.
But are they dealing with limited power or just limited intentions for timing?
I mean, time spent broadcasting is time spent away from worshiping their whatever they've got that's radiated. I'll have to check them out, I think.
Probably do that after the hospital.
Yeah, that sounds like something you and I should do as opposed to anybody else, because
Unless we can find the rad suits somehow.
We have rad suits.
Oh, there we go.
yeah,
I have one, and then there was one added to the party loot.
Yeah,
That should cover us.
yeah, you guys found one
Yes, we have two now.
in the record store. The guy thought it would protect him from the Cazadors.
Yeah.
I'm still not, even with a rad suit, I'm still not comfortable with you smoothskins going in. Just because they're
They might hit us with hypnosis guns.
persuasive. Like it's a religion in a way that your generation really doesn't understand religion. And there's no real way for me to impart just how all-encompassing it can get. Think of the most charismatic person you've ever met and then make it worse. That's what can happen when the children of Adam walk in. And the ones who
I don't
don't.
know. I walked away from something when the most charismatic person I can think of wasn't around, so he couldn't talk me out of it.
Well, that's a story I'd like to hear.
Maybe for another day.
But yeah, it's like the worst raider leader and the worst Brotherhood of Steel person, and give them all a jacked up fanaticism. I'm just not comfortable with it. And it's not just because you're smooth skins. I mean, part of it is because if they manage to talk you into taking off your rad suit, then you're fucked. It's also because you're kind of young. I mean, comparatively. And just you're kind of young.
Comparatively.
I mean, yeah, there's no room on my birthday cake for candles anymore. Just light the thing on fire. But young people and people who aren't kind of grounded are a little more susceptible. And
People
now I
still
sound
looking for
kind of,
something to believe in rather than themselves.
yeah, people who haven't given up on that idea yet. You know, folks with a little hope left. So, I think that's something that, I mean, I can't stop you, obviously. But I'm going to recommend strongly against it as your doctor. How's that?
Understood.
This would be against medical advice.
Understood, and I'll also ignore Smith's when he recommends we potentially do it just for his scientific side of things to watch what happens.
I mean, I don't think he'd encourage you to go, but I don't know him all
He
that
kind of
well
looks
yet
like he
either.
already has his hand halfway up someone else's body over interactions with the mole rats.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair, but I'm the only one around here who gets to do autopsies. He'll have to wait. You know, trained versus untrained and all that jazz.
You know, you just aren't lucky enough to have me die that quickly.
I'm okay with that.
So I assume as you guys are talking, you're like having your breakfast and packing up your stuff ready to head out.
I hope so.
I grab an extra 40 rounds for my 10 millimeter.
Okay.
And then I'm going to grab that one stim pack that isn't on your sheet. Rebecca.
Sure.
And then since we're going to someplace potentially dangerous, Radix and Radaway.
Okay.
Here, I'll let those.
So yeah, so you guys pick up and head out. Bob's like, I'll hold down the fort.
You better.
It's like,
Try not to drink all the water. There is such a thing as overhydration. Please don't drink all the water.
Roger that.
It'll make you very sick. And probably die.
Understood. I'll just kind of tidy up the place a bit while you're out.
That's a great plan.
All right. And he'll look down at like the little, like the what was it, like a pipe pistol, I think is the weapon that Rebecca gave him.
Yes, it was my pipe pistol, and I think all of my bullets for it.
Yep.
Most of my bullets for it. Yeah,
It's like,
better in his hands than mine.
and then he'll kind of look up at like the crap that's kind of been laying around. He's like, picks up like a good length of rebar. Kind of looks at the pistol, looks at the rebar, kind of tucks the pistol away, puts two hands on the rebar. It's like, all right,
Have fun.
What? Here. I grab one of the SMGs out of the Brahmin and give him 40 rounds.
I'll thank you. I'm not a real great shot, but if anybody comes here that has designs on this place, I'll do everything I can. And yeah, he'll take the submachine gun. You can tell he knows how to use a gun, but Boise has to give him a couple pointers. I has to give him a couple pointers on, like, don't close one eye when you're aiming, that sort of thing. He knows the basics, but he's not terribly skilled.
Breathe evenly.
Oh, right, breathing. Got it. It's easier just to hit people, but I can do this.
Remember, gentle with the trigger. You don't need to hammer it down.
Got it. All right. And you guys head off into the ruins, leaving your new settlement in the capable hands of Bob the ex-legionnaire.
It's better than Preston Manning.
Bob is not likely to call you in the middle of things going like, hey, I got a thing.
There's another settlement that needs your help.
It's yours.
It's marked on the map.
You remember where I am? I need your help.
Well, several levels down the road, Bob will have power armor and everything. He'll be competent.
Well, I mean, we do have a frame, helmet, Raider right leg, torso.
Yeah, you've got scattered power armor pieces here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Bob will wave you goodbye and like close the door behind you. And you do see, like, as you kind of look behind, he does like take up a perch where he's got like a good view. Like, he's stood post before. And you make your way out into the ruins of the city. After salvageable, it's fairly quiet. There's still, the occasional gunshot off in the distance, but it's not like a rapid fire exchange of combat here and there. No signs of vertibirds overhead. It's like a peaceful stroll through the wasteland. Doesn't take you terribly long to get to the spot on Arkham's map that's marked. You do periodically see like smaller creatures out and about. But nothing poses a threat to you. I mean, you can take some pot shots at, like, the bloat flies here and there and stuff, but nothing that's going to cause you to any undue stress.
Oh God, it's coming right for us.
And as you make your way down towards the hospital, you can start to see this like large and impressively well preserved pre-war medical facility. It's got like thick stone pillars kind of flanking the main entrance doors. The bricks are like kind of soot covered, like radiation scarred. There's a mostly faded out sign that introduces it as Mount Sin Central. Rebecca, it's fairly obviously it was a different hospital at one point, but the letters have faded off.
Yep.
But there doesn't seem to be guards posted or anything of that nature. Nothing stopping you from walking right up to the front door.
All right. Just keep an eye out. This is feels a little creepy quiet.
And we haven't encountered anything really other than rodents on the streets, right?
Nothing else.
Okay.
One sec here.
Well, we heard there's a quest here. There are people that need our help, raiders that need to be scared off, and Doc's got a plan. So the only way to do this is go in. With my hand on my pistol, keeping it in the holster, I will walk up and open the door.
All right. And Boise, I think you've got the best perception and survival. So give me a perception survival roll.
That's what they tell me.
Oh, nice. So as you're like making your way up, you do notice that some of the houses that are mostly intact close to the hospital, you do see that there are people that basically looking out the windows towards you. With that roll, you can see that they seem to be like wearing like hospital gowns. Your best guess would be that this is probably like housing for patients. So it looks like the hospital is organized in some fashion, that they've got like these outlying buildings for patients to reside in. And Arkham, as you like kind of swing the door open, there is a din of noise from inside. Like outside, it's fairly quiet. Occasional gunfire off in the background, but nothing unusual. Inside, it is loud, like people talking and the buzz of like 3 or 4 different radios tuned to different stations, kind of fighting for supremacy. People coughing and sneezing and and it is like a packed waiting room. And everybody can give me a perception and medicine.
That is almost entirely perception, just don't think I'm good.
This is entirely all perception. Arkham is not medically trained at all. It seems like he was a kid that picked up a gun one day and got really good with a pistol, and then really good at talking people into doing things with him.
Probably because he had a pistol.
I mean, it probably didn't hurt.
Just need perception and medicine from Smiths. Not sure if Aiden's there.
Sorry, what?
I need a perception and medicine roll.
Oh. Perception and medicine?
Yep.
Ooh. I'm not the most medically trained person out there.
It's okay, neither is Boise, and he beat me on successes.
It was the perception word.
I got one.
So quite a few of these people seem to. I mean, there's like people with like very obvious wounds. There's one guy with like a a knife sticking out of his shoulder with like a tourniquet kind of wrapped around it. Quite a few people that seem to be ill. Quite a few people look like they're suffering from various forms of withdrawal. Boise, you notice that some of the people, probably in the waiting room, probably like 4 or 5, look like they're suffering from the same sort of illness. Like they've got bloodshot eyes that you pick up on, very profuse sweating, extremely violent coughing, and abnormal hair growth along the back of their necks.
Hey Doc, like you see these 4 or 5 people that they look like they got the same deal going on, and that looks like a nasty whatever it is. Like see there, look at the eyes, and then notice the sweat on their brow, and look at the back of the neck.
Oh, that's just weird.
Chris, does that seem familiar at all?
No, not at all.
I mean, the eyes and the sweating, that's not all that uncommon with a lot of different illnesses, but the hair?
Yeah, and the obvious chest issues with how bad the cough is.
Yeah, and again, that's like those 3 symptoms. I mean, that could lead to a lot of things. The hair is weirding me out. I mean, most illnesses will make your hair fall out. They don't usually give you more. Huh.
And as you guys are kind of taking this in, this kind of like slightly frazzled looking middle-aged woman, looks like she's probably South Asian, comes up to you with clipboards. She's like, okay, fill these out, we'll be with you in a minute. Take
No.
your seat. What do you mean no?
Thanks anyway. I mean,
We're not
no,
here for
physician.
treatment.
I heard you were looking for employees.
Oh shit, somebody actually came.
Mind if I smoke?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure I like the humors in this room.
Oh, that's not a... Humors? Really? We're gonna have to have a long talk.
Hey, it's an old-fashioned fancy word for whatever's in the air.
Yep.
Pestilence.
Don't, it's not contagious, don't worry.
Well, I mean, there's like those people over there just somewhat discreetly for Boise gesture at the people that he noticed. They all seem to have the same kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Those are some weird symptoms.
Oh, it's not the weirdest symptom that they're going to be suffering. But
Oh, this I've got to find out. Because I've been around a while, and I've never seen that yet.
that's there's
Are they
a
turning into mole rats?
no. There's some sort of new chem going around. Addicts develop symptoms. That's what we're going to refer to as a tomorrow problem.
Gotcha. Yeah, if there's someone I can talk to about this job that you've got, and We've kind of moved in locally, a ways back that way.
Yeah. She motions for you to follow her, and she kind of leads you like kind of towards the back where there's a stairwell that leads up to like the second floor. She just kind of like pushes the door open with her foot and yells up, "It's like, Walter! Somebody came about your job offer." It's like, go right up. Walter will meet you there. Thank you. I guess I owe Walter a beer. I didn't think anybody would, answer.
Good luck with your patience.
It'll be fine. It's with the Synthesia kicks in. That's when things are going to get a little wild for them.
Holy crap. Good luck.
Yeah, don't do chems, boys and girls.
Yeah, a little bit.
So Rebecca will head upstairs.
Okay.
We'll absolutely follow.
And yeah, as you make your way upstairs, kind of like at the doorway to the second floor, like the door opens and there's this like kind of like bald gentleman, like little spectacles on. He's wearing a very kind of like stained lab coat. Skin is very pale, almost translucent. He looks like he has like been working very, very hard. It's like, Dr. Walter Leach. You're what should I call you? Mercenaries? People for hire? People for hire. I like people for hire.
I like doctor.
Doctor. Excellent. I don't think we have it in the budget for another
Doctors
doctor.
without borders.
What was his name again? Walter.
Leach.
Oh, that's reassuring. Okay.
Leach.
Oh, yeah, okay, right. Sure.
Come into my office. And he'll lead you to a fairly tidy office. It looks like he's trying to maintain some semblance of order amongst the chaos downstairs in the post-apocalyptic world. He's even got like one of those little pendulum ball thingies on his desk.
Oh wow, I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I find it relaxing. Doctor, so are you looking for work or are you... Because Jay said you were answering my ad request. I don't know what to call it. Or are you here as a doctor or are you here as somebody who's looking to get paid caps to do a job?
I mean,
Yes.
column A, column B.
All right. I can't afford another doctor on the payroll right now, at least not until we have another board of directors meeting. Like, I don't even know what we're going to do about the people we've got downstairs right now. I think we can handle things through the end of the month, but after that, who knows? We may have to look at starting to increase prices. We don't want to charge the people that can't afford it. That's not your problem.
That's okay. Yep. Different problem. What's the other problem?
Okay. So the other problem is we've got people here that we need supplies for, we need food for, we need water for, we need medical supplies that we can't synthesize ourselves. We need chemicals to make those supplies for the ones who can't synthesize ourselves. And the goddamn raiders keep hitting our caravans over and over. And if they keep at it, we're just not going to be able to operate anymore. Which means all of these people are up Schitt's Creek.
Yep.
So I was talking with the other directors, and we thought maybe if we, because everybody stays out of the sewers because there's creatures down there.
Sewers.
And they're
Mhm.
sewers. So we're thinking maybe if we organize a route through the sewers, we could let the traders know and they could come to us, come out in our basement, and avoid the raiders. But we need to make sure that there's a safe route through before we start telling the traders to come through. Otherwise, we're just causing the same problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Couple of different things to address there. One, do you have a chem bench?
Yeah, we've got the capacity to synthesize things.
Excellent. If you need help with that, I can certainly lend a hand. It's something I've trained in. So, I'm not going to just be tossing stuff together and hoping for the best. Second, I'm fine with volunteering as a doctor sometimes. I mean, these guys need patching up more often usually. Because when it comes to your troubleshooting, or shooting your trouble, they're the ones you need to talk to.
Excellent.
I'm a doctor. I'm a healer, not a killer.
Right. But the rest of you, you're the sort of people that we could give some caps to make sure we have a safe route through the sewers.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what I should call you.
Troubleshooters is fine.
Troubleshooters?
Problem solvers.
Concerned citizens.
Problem.
I like the troubleshooters.
Troubleshooters? Okay.
Helpers.
I mean, I've never hired anybody for this sort of work before, and I didn't... Like, mercenary sounds really... like
Mercenary.
Not good. Then I didn't want to offend anybody, so troubleshooters. Troubleshooters is good. I like troubleshooters. So we do have some budgetary funds allocated for this project. So we can definitely pay you in caps. We just need to make sure that there's a safe route from us to maybe a location outside the city limits where we can tell the traders to go. Once we've secured a route, then we'll see if we can set up a budget so that we can hire routine patrols, just to keep the area safe of any creatures. But I think that's a better plan than constantly having raiders and having to pay people to travel with the caravan every time it comes in.
Yeah, because you're probably replacing people.
Yeah, I'd really rather not have. I think this is the way to minimize any potential deaths.
So do you have any idea about the route itself? Do you have a start and end point picked out?
We do. We don't. We haven't mapped the sewers. We don't know how to get from here to where we'd like to have our entrance. That would be part of the job, I guess. Would be to map out the route that you deem to be secure. But do you have a obviously not a sewer map, but do you have an above ground map?
Yes.
Yes, I do. And I pull it out.
Right.
And as Walter has been talking, Rebecca's been kind of looking over at Arkham more often than not. Remind me to ask you a question when we're not here.
Absolutely, Doc. Sorry, I've been kind of distracted. I've never been inside a hospital before. That is a lot of sick people.
Yeah, there's
That's kind of how they work, yeah.
a new chem
Yeah.
making the rounds, and the after effects are pretty brutal. So, you know, a Dictyl is high up on the list of things to synthesize, but in order to do that, I need hub flowers. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, now, we're not just limited to killing rodents in the sewers. It sounds like you've got a few things that might need some adventurous sorts like us to take care of. Go find those flowers for you. Anytime we find them, we could bring them back. Now, what would that be worth to you?
Well, that is something I would need to discuss with the board of directors at our next budgetary meeting.
What's your normal budget spent on it right now?
Well, right now, for this particular project, I can give you. Does a quick hand like 250 caps up front, and another 250 caps once you come back to me with the safe route.
Not the worst thing I've done for the least amount of money.
This is what I have. Any other projects beyond this? Tracking down the chem, finding the ingredients. We just don't have the budget for it right now. We're keeping the lights on, as it were, probably through the end of the month.
How much are you spending on water?
Well, we have a.
How much are you willing to spend for us to go and find the drug problem and solve it?
Currently, nothing. The sum total of what I have for discretionary spending is being used on this plan.
Well, this is a start, but it doesn't solve the overall problem of the drugs running through your waiting room.
Nope. And that's something that I will bring up with the other directors.
That sounds like a problem that we can take care of as well.
Well, if you prove yourselves capable, I'm sure I can make the argument to the board of directors that we need to free up some funding.
All right. Well, we've got everything marked out. Anybody disagreeing with this price? 500 caps is a lot of caps.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
not
solid
disagreeing
pay.
with it.
Yeah.
I didn't get the prompt for negotiating in my head. It was just, that's actually a really good price for a job.
It's for a hospital.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like, at 250 caps, I was interested, but when he said another 250, will we make it back? Hot damn, that's a lot of caps.
And the karma?
That's, yeah.
I mean, if we don't accept the other 250 caps, that's where you get even better karma. When you don't accept the bonuses back in 3.
Yeah.
And they give you the good bonuses. That was actually a really fun system. It was really one way or the other. There was no good neutral.
But that was also part of why they didn't continue it.
Yep.
It's like, do we have an agreement?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds solid.
And he will basically he'll count out the caps and hand them over, but he also has like a what looks like a very very basic contract almost.
Nice.
That says, we the undersigned agree to, find a secure route through the sewers, for the price of 500 caps to 50% upfront, 50% upon completion. There's a place to sign it. So I need this for bookkeeping.
Oh, that's fine by me. I'm used to old school contracts.
What does it say, Doc?
Rebecca will read it out loud.
Basically, we're agreeing that we'll be trying to find a way through and a way back so the traders can come through. We're getting paid half now, half later.
Well,
But I need to talk to you once we get outside.
Of note, while Rebecca's relaying that, Boise is actually reading it in detail.
Okay. It's
I mean,
Aw,
I expect it's a standard contract. It's just Boise seems to understand.
yeah. And for those of you who are actually reading it, it's not even a very detailed contract. It's it's written in 14 point, basic font.
It's a doctor/scientist making a contract as opposed to a lawyer/mayor.
It's somebody who basically needs paperwork for their budget department.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's another thing that Arkham isn't understanding either. Remember, Arkham's an idiot savant.
Yeah.
Boise's not the smartest, but he seems to understand at least a little bit about this and budgetary.
I understand making a deal and getting people to do things. This is a pretty solid deal. Yeah, sign it, Doc. If that's what's needed.
Yeah, there ain't anything extra in there. It's just budgetary tracking.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So we get contract signed. He hands over the 250 caps. Says, by all means, take whatever time you feel is prudent. We certainly wouldn't want to rush this. I think accuracy and safety is more important than speed on this.
Let's see. Everybody got flashlights, lanterns, radios. Is there an ammunition vendor perhaps nearby?
Not that I'm aware of. We decided it was more cost efficient to switch to energy-based weapons for our Protectrons quite some time ago.
Okay.
Right. Whenever you're ready, I can lead you down to the basement. We've part of our exploration of this was to see whether or not it was feasible for us to access the sewers, and we can. The sewers are close enough that we were able to knock through one of the basement walls into them. We've barricaded it so whatever's in there doesn't come into the basement, obviously, but there is an easy entrance.
Okay. Well, I mean, unless you got a couple extra stim packs for the road.
Give me let's call that a charisma and speech roll.
All right. This being a hospital and all, figure a couple extra wouldn't hurt you. Charisma and speech. Yes.
He does have. He can give you one stim pack and one diluted stim pack.
Well, thank you, Doc.
Oh, thank you. Good luck with everything. It's seems simple, but there's a fair bit riding on this.
Any idea what's down there?
Oh heavens, I don't know. I only know the stories. For all I know, there might be nothing in the sewers. There might be only stories. But we can't take that risk with traders, and we couldn't ask other people to take that risk without compensating them. So the stories I've heard are that there's, weird mutated animals, perhaps super mutants living down there. I've heard that perhaps there's an albino deathclaw that makes its nest down there. I've heard all kinds of stories. I don't know the veracity of any of them. So if we're all lucky, this will be 500 caps for you to tell me that there's nothing there and it's safe. And I will consider that to be money well spent.
Any specific time frame you want this resolved in once we enter here? Is it a timed event, or do we can just take our time, slowly moving forward, stealthily sniping everything from a distance, and
You can
being your typical?
I would expect safety over speed. I wouldn't think you would want to sleep down there. But I don't know you, so perhaps. But unless anybody else has anything, he will lead you down to the basement.
Do you guys have bullets, or should we? I would prefer, honestly, to come back tomorrow.
I'm loaded for bear.
I mean, hopefully we won't run into a bear down there, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I brought supplies with me to go on a couple of day trek into violent territory.
Alrighty. I've got my
I didn't add it to my sheet. I just marked it down as my name on our loot sheet here. But there's 2 stim packs, 2 diluted stim packs, 2 Radaway, a Rad-X. I've got, 46 rounds for my SMG. Gear, sorry, weapons. 31 rounds for the SMG. 46 rounds for my 10 millimeter. I'll be using that primarily. And then if we do encounter anything big, I've got old Betsy here. She's got 8 rounds left. And I really am counting bullets with my guns.
You have to.
Oh, usually by this level, I've spent all of my caps buying out every last store in Fallout 4 of the ammunition, my preferred weapon. And then I just use that gun so often and take the, not the Scrounger one, the one that lets you find extra ammo in boxes.
Yep.
You know which one I'm talking about. And then, yeah, you just, as long as you're using that gun, it's generally ammo for that gun. Generally.
All right. So down in the, as you're led down to the basement, they do have basically there's like a hole knocked in one of the walls, and what looks like it at one point it might have been the morgue for the hospital. But there's like a hole knocked in the wall, fair size. You do have to like stoop to go in, but still a very big hole. That's basically been boarded up and had a bunch of like shelves and filing cabinets and stuff kind of pushed in front of it that he like moves out of the way, like just so nothing comes in. And as it opens up, you can hear like the running of water. You can smell the smell of a sewer. And it's really, really dark down there.
Boise pulls his neck warmer over his lower mouth and takes a look down his rifle while he waits for everyone else to decide when it's time to go.
Yeah, with your night vision goes, you don't see anything. I mean, the sewer tunnel goes on straight for a fair ways before it kind of bends. But you don't see anything laying in wait in the darkness for you.
Yeah, nothing immediately nearby. We gonna do this?
Yeah, flashlights on.
All right. So everybody moves in. There is like a trickle of water kind of down the middle of the sewer, but there are like walkways on both sides for those of you who do not want to walk through what is probably radioactive water.
Yeah, Boise will be in the front without his light on. The light behind him will be enough for that because, my ghost and my night vision.
Okay. Who is carrying the light source?
Hey Doc, do you have
I
a light source?
I do have a flashlight. I'm pretty certain. Let me bring up my character notes. Flashlight was part of the things that I started the game with. So yes.
Yeah, same.
It's always good to have two.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. And as you kind of like get your marching order together and start picking your way carefully down, careful not to slip in the muck and slime and various assorted grossness of the sewers. The passage goes, and then it starts to slope slightly downwards. And then it turns, and you find yourselves at the top of a very sharp descent. There are very wide slabs of stone that form like very deep stairs that go down into the darkness of the sewers. Boise, I assume you're staying just enough ahead so that the bright light from the flashlight doesn't fuck up your night vision from your scope.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see like the water flows down kind of steadily. You're highly trained in survival. You would guess it's probably about ankle deep. Like it's not super deep water. It is moving with some velocity. There's little like whirls and swirls in the water from where it's hitting various debris. You do see little trails of dust trickling down from the ceiling. And down at the very bottom of the stairs, you see a very bright white light cascading through an archway at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, we got light down here.
That's weird.
And you guys can all see it too as you kind of like climb up behind Boise and kind of see down the steep decline. And it's a very bright, very pure white light.
Like I've seen this type of lighting a few times, but it's not where I expected to find it.
How long has it been since I've seen that kind of light, Chris? Like, does this seem like old fluorescent lighting from way, way back? Or does this seem like something
It's similar.
else?
It is similar.
Not Children of Adam lighting. Because their lighting tends to be very dim and glowy, but in a yellowish, greenish kind of way. Very ambient.
That's weird.
All right.
Mind
well,
if I walk behind one of you?
Not a problem. I mean, everyone's already been doing that. So I'll move cautiously, but without the scope, towards the light with Rebecca behind me.
It's more that I don't want to get shot in the
Yeah.
face. Since
Um,
that's... If there's somebody down here, that's the part of me they'll notice first.
Why doesn't Boise give me a stealth roll? Very obviously, your ghost perk will apply.
Okay. And I'll buy a fourth die for one.
Ooh, very, very sneaky. So you are stealthy enough, and you can basically keep Rebecca close enough that you can keep an eye on her as well. Is the rest of our Smiths and Arkham, are you guys staying up at the top of the decline, or?
Well, I think I went down with them. We're supposed to be sticking together, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't tell me to wait behind.
And Boise, your sneak roll is good enough that you can basically cover the party.
Okay.
And you make your way up, and it looks like this is where the where the sewer, kind of like four junctions meet, sort of thing. But some of the channels have been boarded over with very, very, very thick sheets of drywall. And you see, as you kind of peek around the corner very carefully through so, it looks like it's been set up like a little kind of recreation area. Like something is living down here. There's like a little table. There's like a couple of chairs. There's like some like cards out on the table. And the entire area is lit up by these very, very large lamps. Like these lamps are probably about 3 feet wide and like 6 feet long. What's being all robotic? It's Mike. So these very large lamps, like I said, like 6 feet high, 3 feet wide, bolted to the walls. Another lamp sitting on the floor, kind of pumping light up into the room. The whole area is just bathed in this like harsh white light. And as you're kind of like, your eyes are adjusting to it, like it is so bright and so blinding, that you see kind of like coming from one of the little areas, it looks like there's a little door in the drywall. Like this place has been made into a little room. A couple of very deeply tanned individuals are coming in. Basically, it looks like maybe like one of them's like zipping up his fly, like they'd stepped up to use the washroom. They're coming back to their card game, sort of thing. Completely oblivious to you there. But you do notice each of the three of them has a holy symbol of some nature hanging on a chain from around their neck. And Rebecca and Smith's, just from being close to this light, you feel like a little pep in your step. And you realize that entire room is just bathed in radiation.
Oh, you guys need to back up. You guys all need to back way up.
Rebecca's going to start kind of pushing and shoving and pulling.
Yeah, Boise will very happily
and
settle
Boise.
into the darkness.
Yeah, back away.
No, not for you guys. No.
And
no.
Rebecca,
Oh.
why don't you give me an intelligence and science roll, Rebecca? You're old enough.
Okay.
2 successes. So, you're thinking about it, you're looking at those lamps. You're like, those are big fucking lamps. Those are really, really big lamps. And then it dawns on you, they're not lamps.
Tanning beds?
They are open tanning beds. Bathing the entire room in radiation.
What the ever loving hell?
But as these folks kind of come back to the card game, and they're like making small talk, like it's nothing unusual for them to be sitting in a room surrounded by high doses of ultraviolet radiation. They have lovely tans. Their hair is bleached blonde, like.
Oh, they look like a certain Hollywood heartthrob of the era.
Yes, but they get back to their card game, and within like a minute or two, they are very deeply engrossed in this card game. Boise, they haven't noticed you. It's possible you might be able to sneak through. It's going to be tough because it's very brightly lit. But going in that room is probably going to expose you and Arkham to some at least low level radiation. But as you guys kind of ponder your options, and as these guys get caught up in their game of gin, I think we'll call it there.
Okay.
Tanning beds.
Tanning beds.
I mean, yeah, they give off
The minute you
great
said
amount of
that
light.
they were really, really big lights, I'm like, oh my fucking god. Yeah, okay. Tanning beds.
You've got radiation resistance. You need a light
Yeah.
source. But
Don't use tanning beds, kids. Just enjoy your pasty paleness and don't sun exposure's bad. Wear sunscreen.
But I will give everybody. Let's call it 150 XP. And for those of you who, because I know B tends to have really shitty dice luck, and actually both of your shooters tend to have really shitty dice luck as soon as like combat breaks out. This does count as the start of a quest, so your luck should be refreshed, and once you've completed this, your luck will refresh.
Oh, good. Yeah, I deliberately didn't spend any because we just got the refresh at the end of last game. So I'm like, when I get that complication listening to the radios, like that can't be that bad. I'll suck it up.
Yeah. So this is the embarkment of a quest.
Excellent to know.
I thought it would be handy for you guys to know, so you know roughly what kind of time frame you're looking at for luck expenditure and refresh.
Yeah, the last stretch was a little bit of a drag, understandably, but it was a bit of a long drag before the refresh.
Yeah. So,
Just to confirm, we're at 3311
That's
for
what I got.
XP. Excellent.
3311.
Yep. Just want to double check. Just to make sure that
Yeah.
I'm on track.
That's not bad. That's like
Tanning
300
beds.
from the next level. Perfect. So we will pick this up in a couple of weeks. Part of the other reason for stopping it here is it's very easy for us to get Sam in if he can make it at the next game. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
hopefully.
You guys won't be like
You should
partway
be
down the
back.
sewers. Yeah, you guys won't be like 3 miles into the sewers going like, "Oh, Mass, how's it going?" Maybe he had like a little like infection from one of his leg wounds, and he's just up being treated. And he'll catch up with you guys momentarily. Right. So yeah, we will catch everybody in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Have a good night, folks, and Happy New Year, since some of you I haven't spoken to since before the holidays.
Yeah, Happy New Year. And
See you as well.
I'll see you next weekend for my game and the weekend after that for more of this.
Awesome. Yes, Target Eternity next week.
Indeed.
Awesome. All right. Have a good night, folks.
Good
Hey,
night.
guys.
Night, Ian.